Today is an important day. It's Election Day! Now, you may know that this week in the United States is election week. We're going to choose who's going to be president for the next 4 years. But today in Sunday school, we're not picking a president for the next 4 years. We're picking a president of the class to make a serious decision. What snack are we going to have? Now, before you say, whoa, pick me, I want to pick the snack. We are going to make this decision a little differently. You see, we're going to elect a president who's no more than about 6 inches big. See, all of you are going to get potatoes, and you're going to decorate your potatoes. And then we're going to vote, and the best potato head will be the president and will determine what snack we have. So, everyone get a potato, and you decorate while I tell you a story about 2 people who, well, they were fighting for the same job as king. You may have heard of these 2 guys. One guy was actually the king, and the other guy, well, he wasn't the king, but he was like super popular, and everybody kind of wanted him to be the king. You may remember these guys, King Saul and David. That's who we're going to talk about today. In the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 24, we learn that King Saul was jealous of David because David was really good at doing battle. He had defeated a lot of enemies. Not only that, David was good at playing instruments and following God. He was good at a lot of stuff. And this made King Saul pretty jealous. In fact, he got so jealous that he started chasing David around the countryside so he could catch him and kill him. One day, David and his men were hiding in a cave. And guess who walks in? King Saul. Let's just say the call of nature called, and King Saul had to take a break. Well, of course, David's men were, David, this is your chance. You're gonna be the king. God promised it to you. This is your chance, David. Take him out. You can be the king right now. It would have been super easy for David to just kill King Saul. I mean, King Saul was busy, shall we say, using the loo, but David knew it would be so wrong to kill King Saul. Instead, he creeps up and he cuts off just a corner of his robe. And then David tells his men, God doesn't want me to do anything to Saul because he's my authority. The Lord allowed him to be king. Okay, next, King Saul walks out of the cave and David calls out, "My Lord, the king!" And then David bows down to King Saul to show him respect. You can probably imagine the look of shock on Saul's face when he sees David. But before Saul can say anything else, David has a few more words for Saul. David says, "Now you have proof that I respect you and would not harm you no matter what people are saying." Then David holds up a piece of Saul's robe that he had cut off. And David says, "Look, this proves that I had the chance to kill you today, but I did not do it." So I bet you're wondering why David decided to not kill someone who was trying to kill him. Maybe it doesn't make very much sense, but David knew it was right to respect authorities no matter how evil they act. Let's look at Romans 13, 1 through 2 together. It says this, "Let everyone be subject to the governing authorities, for there is no authority except that which God has established. The authorities that exist have been established by God. Consequently, whoever rebels against the authority is rebelling against what God has instituted, and those who do so will bring judgment on themselves." You see, every authority we have over us is there because God has allowed it. So we need to respect them the same way we respect God. Take a moment and think of some authorities in your life, maybe like your teacher, or your principal, or your coach, or maybe a policeman. Who is an authority in your life? Now you have that list. Guess what? God is the one who controls, who has authority over you. Proverbs 21:1 says, "The king's heart is like channels of water in the hand of the Lord. He turns it wherever he wishes." Now, maybe it's not fun to obey authorities, but God promises to help us and keep us safe when we respect them, no matter how mean they might be. So, how does the story of David and Saul end? Well, since David obeyed God and respected Saul, God protected him. In fact, Saul tells him, he says, "David, you're more righteous than I am because you treated me well when I treated you badly." And then King Saul stops chasing David. Later on, Saul dies, and guess who becomes the king? David. Incredible, right? All right, it's time for your potato election. Gather your potatoes together and vote for which potato you think would be the best next president of your Sunday school class. Remember, you can't vote for your own potato. So vote for your favorite potato and also vote for your favorite snack. All right, you should be enjoying a delicious snack now. Well, delicious to some of you. I have a question actually. How many of you, by raising your hands, say, "I did not vote for this snack"? Yeah? How many of you actually don't even like the snack that won? You know, that reminds me of our country's presidential election. Not everyone will vote for the person who wins, and many people won't even like the person who wins. But just like no one is forcing you to eat your snack, no one will force you to like someone, because that's not the point. God only asks us to respect our authorities, not to like them and be their best friend. Remember, God is asking us to obey our authorities as long as they are not asking us to disobey God's laws. God is the top authority, the big boss. So we need to obey him before we obey anyone else. Do you think you can practice that this week? Take your potato home with you to remind you to respect and obey your authorities.